The third game on the road swing is on tap tonight as VGK travels to Winnipeg as each team looks to end their droughts. We'll preview tonight's contest next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again from Las Vegas, Tony Dasco and Chris Gawlik. Welcome to Locked On Golden Knights. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcasting network. I am a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast. Chris, the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports, and the host of the Hockey News Collectibles Show. Now, coming up ahead on today's show, VGK Winnipeg, as both teams are struggling. We'll get into that matchup. When does VGK pull the trigger on personnel moves, and our locks, props, and games of chance for tonight's game? And don't forget to watch us each and every day on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Tune in at 1 o'clock Monday through Friday. SSSEN is the place to be on YouTube TV or Cox Cable Channel 77. Chris, tonight is the mark of the midway point of the season. And the Golden Knights and the Winnipeg Jets will both be playing in game number 41. What a classic battle between two teams in free fall mode. But at least the Golden Knights still clinging on to first place in the Pacific after losing 8 of the last 9. The Jets have lost 9 straight games, and they have the fewest points of any team in the NHL, a team literally that has gone from first to worst. And this will be an interesting matchup tonight at the Canadian Life Center or the Canada Life Center. The Jets could become the 5th team in NHL history to go from having the best record to missing the playoffs altogether.
That's fun, I guess, in a not so fun way. I'm tired of people saying, the Golden Knights are in first place. It's okay. The Golden Knights are 14th overall in the league. That's the reality that needs to be acknowledged. Drop this first place in this Charmin Soft Pacific Division drama. Please, Golden Knight fans, stop clinging to that. It is absolutely irrelevant right now. Moving on, like you said, I mean, Jets 9 losses in a row. The Golden Knights have now lost back-to-back games to the 6th place and 7th place teams in the Central Division. Now the Golden Knights get the 8th place team in the Central Division, who's, like Tony said, free falling pretty hard right now. Despite the free fall, Connor Hellebuyck, .905 save percentage, .258 goals against. If they do get Eric Comrie is 6-9-1 with a 3.49 and an 8.80. Likely Hellebuyck in net. I think no team wants to have their backup goalie in when they're trying to fade a 10-game losing streak. You got 4 players doing okay with the Jets. Kyle Connor's got 48 points, Scheifele 48, Gabe Vilardi 35, and then Josh Morrissey, defenseman, with 6 goals and 26 assists. And you even have Dylan DeMello with 15 points as a defender, Logan Stanley with 13. So they're getting some contributions. Get to see Jonathan Taves tonight. I'm not sure coming out of retirement was the best for him, but he's still cooking. He's got 3 goals and 9 assists. So we'll see how Captain Sirius does tonight.
9 points out of a playoff spot for this Winnipeg team. This is a Jets team that started at 9-3, but just 6-18-4 after that, partly because Connor Hellebuyck did miss 12 games in net. But even since returning on December the 11th, Hellebuyck and the Jets are 1-5-3 with him in net. So he was the answer last season, repeatedly bailed out this team, and this year, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Hellebuyck, it's not a big game, so he'll probably be okay tonight, right? Hellebuyck, the knock on him, he's going to have to write his legacy by winning some big games. Didn't win the Four Nations Championship, drops some noteworthy playoff games throughout his career, but regular season, Hellebuyck might go down as one of the best regular season goaltenders of all time. One of the last, what's the word in baseball when they never come out early, they get a bunch of starts throughout the season. What's the terminology? Not Monty Python, by the way, but
not Monty Python. No.
Point being is there's very few goaltenders who go 55, 60, 65 games repeatedly. Hellebuyck certainly is in that category this season, maybe not because of the injuries that Tony mentioned.
The
but
Iron Man, maybe.
Iron Man,
Maybe
that's a
he's
good
an
word to
Iron
use.
Man.
Sure, yeah, Iron Man, yeah. But yeah, I mean, point being is, listen, Hellebuyck, great goaltender, and this would not be a night for the Golden Knights to get out goalied or run into a hot goaltender. I mean, listen, if the game against the Blues, or more importantly, the game against the Chicago Blackhawks, inexcusable loss, you can't lose that game. What do you call it when you're going against a Jets team on a 9-game losing streak and the worst team in the league? How do you classify this game as a Golden Knights fan? Is this must win? I mean, I put inspired effort needed. God forbid the Golden Knights lose this game. I think if you see an inspired effort from all 4 lines and all 3 D pairings, I think that'll at least give you something to feel better about. I mean, can this team get inspired? Can Bruce Cassidy inspire this team? Does Bruce Cassidy have to inspire this team? Is that his job? That's a debate right now.
Well, VGK just talks about accountability, but we have not seen Kelly McCrimmon from the top. I think it all starts upstairs. He hasn't been seen in a while. Meanwhile, the Jets general manager, Kevin Cheveldayoff, addressing the media and the fans yesterday, saying that you can only control at this point, what you can control is what is ahead of you. He said, put your head down, keep pushing. And this team, he's hoping, can improve. And he said that it begins, Cheveldayoff says that this begins with him. So here is a seasoned general manager who's taking on the burden, meets with the media for no reason at all other than to say, stick with us. And he also said that he's sticking with the second-year head coach and Scott Arniel and his entire
kiss of death right there, Tony. Kiss of death.
Well, of course. Well, that could happen very much so. But the fact that you have one general manager that is accessible and taking accountability, and the other will probably come out from behind the curtain when he needs to take a bow for something.
Or when he's back in town and they need to do the Monday nighttime, I forgot what they call that. But, I mean, listen, nighttime, daytime, whatever it is. Yeah, listen, it's good to hear, voices from besides the coach and everything when things are going wrong. But, I mean, God, if McCrimmon came out and gave a vote of confidence to Coach Cassidy, he's as good as he'll be Pete Carroll in no time. That's just the one thing you don't want to see is the rub, if you will, from the general manager, because that does mean you're usually on borrowed time. And listen, Cassidy can still write this. He's a great coach, but you just want to see, going back to what I said a second ago, you want to see that inspired effort. You want to see the men on the ice, the Golden Knights, if not playing for anything, playing for Coach Cassidy, who definitely deserves better right now. If it wasn't for, I think, that coaching change from DeBoer to Cassidy, I don't think we're talking about a team that won a Stanley Cup just 2.5 short years ago. So the team should, if there's one reason to get up this morning or get up this afternoon or tonight and play a hockey game and play one of their best games of the year, do it for Cassidy, because he doesn't deserve this. And in the same token, Cassidy has to find a way to motivate him. We've heard the statements about teams got to get ready to play. That's on me. You talk about that at some point you have to hate friggin' losing. Okay, well, how does that communicate?
Lack of emotion.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to put his arm around Mark Stone? Captain Stone, you need to stop friggin' losing. You need to care about winning. Like, that's not how that goes. And
somebody's speaking up. Somebody's definitely talking there in the locker room, but we don't know what those conversations have been like and if they are starting to point fingers. Oh, no, they never point fingers. This is a Jets team, too, Chris, that lost players like Nikolai Ehlers and Mason Appleton to free agency. Gustav Nyquist off to a very slow start, has not scored a goal in 31 games. That was an acquisition. Tanner Pearson, we know that name. Jonathan Toews. Toews not playing well. 1 goal in 24 games. And VGK, if they're going to win this game tonight, it all will begin with shutting down. You mentioned that top line of Mark Scheifele, of Gabe Velarde, and Kyle Connor. That's it. I feel as though if they can shut down the top line, then VGK could be in business. That's it.
Yeah, but this is again goes back to an interview I did. Oh, we're going long here, but real fast here. This is where the fourth line needs to do their job because Kolesar's line will be matching up against Connor and Scheifele all nights.
Are there roster changes ahead for VGK? Our discussion next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Let's be real. Managing your finances can feel overwhelming. And between subscriptions that you forgot about, bills that keep going up, and trying to figure out where all your money actually goes each month, it's easy to feel like you're losing control. And who has time to track every single transaction or hunt down hidden fees? That's where Rocket Money comes into play, the personal financial application that helps you to take control. It finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps to lower your bills so you can grow your savings. And I was shocked when Rocket Money showed me that I was paying for this high school sports app I completely forgot about, and it's already saved me a lot of money. I love how it tracks all the subscriptions and lets me cancel them right in the app in just a few taps. And there's no more hunting down all these customer service numbers. That is a chore in and of itself. It also consolidates your checking, savings, loans, and investments into one single dashboard so you get a clear view, great picture of your entire financial situation. Let Rocket Money help you to reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/lockedon. That is rocketmoney.com/lockedon. rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Gawlik reporting from Las Vegas. You lost your bet, by the way. You said Pete Carroll or Bruce Cassidy, who gets fired first. That was...
Yeah, but the fact that there was even just the slightest inkling...
That was chalk.
That
was chalk. Now everyone's talking about Cassidy on the hot seat. Of course, we are the trendsetters right here. We appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget Friday's WTF Day. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. So we've been saying from the jump, or in this instance, from the face-off, that the Golden Knights have depth issues. And so we've pointed to this since the start of the season. So it's no wonder now that the Golden Knights are suffering through this brutal 9-game stretch. They're doing it without some stalwarts on this team, Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb. The Hague trade backfired. Lazan isn't playing well, spends most of his time at the penalty box. Colton Sissons has not produced. Your guy, Alexander Holtz, is the second coming of Alexander Holtz.
That's good.
So good, Tony. That was great. I didn't know where I was going.
No, that was perfect. You hit that well. That was good.
You've got Sauter only scores against his former teams. Riley Smith has not produced. So is this the time? They have a lack of depth. They've had injuries, blah, blah, blah. But is this the time now for roster changes? Does VGK first look internally to the AHL to Henderson? Do the made men panic? Are they in panic mode? Do they pull the trigger on trades? What happens next?
First of all, investing assets into this roster doesn't make a lot of sense okay, this is all of a sudden the 14th best team, not the top of the Pacific, the 14th best team in the league. A couple changes here, it's going to change everything. I don't know how that happens, and you have to free up space to do that. So to echo what you said here, here's basically Kelly McCrimmon's offseason. Sissons, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points, $1.4 million. Lazan, 0 goals, 5 assists, a lot of penalty minutes, $2 million. Holtz got $840K. He has 1 goal, 50 points is in his future. I get it. Brandon Saad, only against his former teams, he's got 6 points, $2 million. Riley Smith has 10 points, 5 and 5, $2 million. And Carter Hart, 4-3-3 with a 3.28 and 8.76 for $2 million. So that's $10 million, which is about 12, 13% of the roster space right there. And that has earned this Vegas Golden Knights team 11 goals, 19 assists, and 30 points, and all those players I mentioned are, for lack of a better term, they're not even complementary pieces right now. So major problem as far as the depth. Now, the nature of the segment can all of a sudden roster changes help? I mean, okay, sure, fine. Right now, the Golden Knights, this is with Aiden Hill on LTIR. You have to assume that Aiden Hill comes off LTIR, but possibly William Karlsson stays on, whether it's duration of the season, who knows. That would give the Golden Knights somewhere around $5.5 million to work with, which is a lot of money, especially if they negotiate a team or a couple of teams to retain some salary for some new players. But who's taking Alex Holtz in a trade? Who's taking Lazan? Who's taking Sissons? Who's taking Saad? Who's taking Smith? You have to free up space for this to happen. You can't just video game this thing and make stupid trades for 7th round picks just to get them off the books. That's not how it works.
Yeah, and I feel as though the Golden Knights are a team that will probably try to wait for the trade deadline to come, but I think that they could get left behind in this season. And right now, like, you take a look, Golden Knights have 100 games in hand, and they're still leading the Pacific, as you said. That's a little bit overrated. And a team like
little bit overrated.
A team like Seattle, like the Kraken, they have the equal amount of games. I think they're just a point behind when I last looked, and Golden Knights could be in 2nd, 3rd, 4th place here at the break when they go to the Olympic Games.
In the Pacific, you have a 6-point gap from the top VGK to the 7th Calgary Flames. If you go top to bottom, it's only 9 points. Vancouver is 37, so the Golden Knights 46 points. So this Pacific Division lead can blow up very fast, or the Golden Knights get their head out of their you-know-whats, or to quote E-Runs, who quoted Chandler Stevenson, then grab their nuts and go to work and figure this thing out here and create some separation. With as bad as this division is, they're a 5-game losing streak from having a 6-point lead right now. So glass half full, the Pacific sucks. The Golden Knights are a step above suck right now. Call it what it is. They're in a bad situation. They're having a bad time. And again, back to the nature of the segment, it's largely because of the depth pieces. A lot of people want to say, Mitch Marner this. Mitch Marner's got 40 points. Leave Mitch Marner alone. He's just fine. If it wasn't for Mark Stone, God, where would this team be? If it wasn't for Carter Hart's initial run when the Golden Knights acquired him, where would this team be? If it wasn't for what Jack Eichel did early on, he slowed down a little bit, but I think he's still, working through this injury. He looked terrible against the Blues and maybe looked a little better against the Blackhawks. So expect better things from Jack tonight, hopefully.
If they go to the AHL level now, just as
stopgap. Fleming, screw it, blow it up.
No, can Tanner Lazinski save the franchise? Like players like that, who would they rely? Who could they bring up that can help this team?
2026,
right
we're talking about Tanner Lazinski saving the Vegas Golden Knights. Here we are. All right. I mean, let's talk for a second about what's happening down on the farm, down 215 maybe. I mean, Lazinski, listen, there's a reason that Lazinski's been around for a minute. So there's a reason he does well in the American League, and then just things don't seem to shake out well.
Chris froze there.
How long he's out, that's unfortunate, but much greater than Magna. Oh boy, what's happened there?
Okay, yeah, you were freezing there.
You good still?
That's okay. You're back.
My screen's just blinked.
Yeah.
I have no idea what just happened.
I can,
but we're still good.
Yeah, we can hear you now again.
Yeah, no. So Jonas Rondbjerg, I mean, we'll see what happens with Rondbjerg. Ben Hemmerling, like we're digging here. Jackson Hallam, I mean,
are they going to start digging? Are the Golden Knights going to start digging? That's the question.
The thing. I mean, there's some bodies down there that can at least make things interesting. Joe Fleming's a -12, by the way, on the season, but he hits everything that moves, so it's fun.
I'd much rather put him back on defense and replace Lazan.
I mean, if we're going to have someone go into the box, at least it'll be fun watching Fleming do it.
Right.
Fleming will take someone with him every time.
The VGK defense, didn't you say something to the effect that the metrics show that the Golden Knights defense is good, but what we watch is not the case?
Yeah, no, that was part of my my little solo run that I did yesterday. A lot of the defensive metrics, as far as expected goals against, scoring chances, suggest the defense has been doing okay. So that's when you start looking at the expected goals given up by the goaltenders, and those metrics don't line up. And then somewhere in between is the eye test. It's the game that we're watching. And that's where we look at the boxing out. That's where we look at poor breakouts. That's where we look at poor puck managements.
Yeah, well done. That's really good. Good point. Coming up next, we've got our locks, props, and chants. Stay with us right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco from Mars. That's a little garbly. Chris Gawlik. Thank you so much for making Locked On Golden Knights your first listen of the day. And thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcasting network. And if you never miss an episode, it's time to make it official. Join the Locked On Everydayer Club and get ad-free audio, access to members-only Discord, and much, much more, all built for our most loyal fans. Join the Locked On Golden Knights community, if you will, lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer. So, Chris, tonight, a battle of desperation. Two desperate teams. Will we see each team pressing? Because that's typically what happens when you're trying to fight through a slump. The Jets have lost during this losing streak. The Jets have lost 7 of the 9 games. They have a 9-game losing streak, but 7 of those have been by 1 goal. And Cheveldayoff said that his team, they're paying a little bit, something interesting that maybe perhaps the Golden Knights need to heed. Cheveldayoff saying yesterday his team is paying a little bit of a price now for giving up draft picks over the past few years. VGK definitely needs to keep something like that in mind. As for tonight's game, it will be a 1-goal game. Nothing as they go to the shootout, probably. I'm just kidding. I am going to go with Winnipeg to break out of its slump. I think they have renewed interest there. I like that their general manager faces the music, right? He's not hiding out. He's not, just behind there pulling all of the triggers and levers. I'm going to go tonight with Mitch Marner and Cole Reinhardt if he gets into the game. I don't know why. I'm going to go 4-3 Jets. And the Golden Knights, for them to win, they can't have 15 stinking shots on goal like they had against Chicago. They need at least 30 or more shots. That's been my barometer. They have a better chance of winning if they can consistently put the puck on net. And it also, too, I have to point out here, Chris, it could come down to special teams. The Jets have really slumped on the power play, which is ranked 17th, not much better on the PK. And it is the start of a 5-game homestand for the Jets. And there will be this game reeks of desperation tonight.
Just reeks in general. Here's what gets me. The Golden Knights are -115. For those of you that don't speak sportsbook or sports gambling, it's a coin flip. If it's -110 or 100 on both sides, that basically means it's a coin flip. No idea what's going to happen as far as the outcome of the game goes. So -115 for a Vegas Golden Knights team, the top of the Pacific Division, facing a team on a 9-game losing streak and the worst team in hockey. That's very telling no matter what the outcome of tonight's game is, number one. 5.5 the over, under -130 if you go over, +108. So looking like a low-scoring affair. Under might be the play if you're looking for a prop. That's about an even money situation. As far as my prediction for tonight, Bowman and Stone. Bowman's right around it. He's due for a goal. Mark Stone is carrying this team on his surgically repaired back. I'm going 4-2 Jets, though. I'm just not buying that this is the time that this team is going to snap out of it. This Vegas Golden Knights team can snap out of it. I just don't think it's right now. I don't see inspired hockey being played in the wins or the losses. Been very few wins, but yeah. As far as a fun little single game parlay, how about Mark Stone to score a goal? How about Mitch Marner to get 1 assist or more? How about Jack Eichel for 4 or more shots? Tie them together. $5 wins you $48 if it comes in.
You're not swinging for the fences now, bro. Like you typically have like
How
$800.
do you swing for the fence on a game like this?
Well, and the one thing, well, it could come down to special teams. It definitely comes down to goaltending. We will see Carter Hart for VGK, you have to believe, because he was off the last game in Chicago.
I don't know if I would lock that in. I don't know if I'd lock that
Seriously.
in.
Okay.
I'd lock that in.
That's a good point. And then we know, okay, so Connor Hellebuyck's not been terrific. Well, his goals against average is good. It's just his record and the team in front of him has not been very good.
He's but he's still a 905. So
right, exactly. And if he gets into that Hellebuyck zone, then
Hellebuyck regular season zone.
Over.
Regular season zone.
Okay. What about his Olympic zone? Is there something?
He's gonna lose in overtime.
And at least Stone's not carrying this team on his surgically repaired spleen. So that's good news.
Listen, I don't know.
He's held up. I'm surprised he's held up.
No, and listen, and it was a fluke injury this year. It was a hand injury. He fell. I mean, it's unfortunate. It happens.
So that was a hand? That was a hand injury.
His wrist, whatever.
Wrist. Yeah. Because remember he fell awkwardly and
he toe picked himself and ran into a Flame player.
Yeah.
So I mean, Mark Stone, going back to that, well, we got a second here. We're talking about accountability from Cassidy. We're talking about accountability from McCrimmon. Stone's the captain. Stone's the emotional leader of this team. At some point, you do have to wonder what he's doing behind closed doors. And again, I'm not saying Mark Stone is not doing the captain's work. Mark Stone, I am sure, is holding these players accountable.
He is.
I am sure he's at least speaking up, and he's also letting his actions speak for himself as well. But are the players just tuning everything out right now? Are they tuning out Cassidy? Are they tuning out Stone? These are viable questions. Again, I think Stone's doing his job far greater than Bruce Cassidy right now, and far greater than Kelly McCrimmon if we're going to compare all three of them right now as far as a leadership crew.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Again, you have the general manager of Winnipeg stepping up and saying, hey, look, it's all on me, right? Taking accountability, starts at the top. And then you have absolute crickets on the other side for the Golden Knights and for Kelly McCrimmon. Thanks for tuning into today's show. Again, Locked On Golden Knights, and make sure that you subscribe and follow us on all of our platforms. And if you have not already, please make sure to check out our new Everydayer Club, access to an ad-free audio feed, invites to the member-only Discord, and members-only Locked On merch store. Check it out today, our Locked On Golden Knights community, lockedonpodcast.com.